Read a book.
Even do they watch us? I somehow don't.
don't know.
Oh, we're live already. That was quick.
Always happens to us.
I know. Let me do the Instagram. Entertain folks.
Oh, I didn't know we were live. That's fine.
We're live. Hello, everybody. We are live
Hi,
on
hi,
the Facebook and the
hi.
YouTube. And I'm just gonna get Rita onto our Instagram.
Loading. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Happy Wednesday.
We have come here looking so bright on this beautiful sunny day. It's sunny in the UK. It's sunny in Toronto. And we decided to bring it down a notch by wearing black.
For once, we have sunshine in England, and it's been very enjoyable. And I think we're live on everything now. So we have a couple of people on all the platforms. Welcome, everybody.
Give
us a little hello, a comment, a wave, whatever, so we can see that you're there. Jimmy, are you there? Our number one fan. Good. So we're a bit later today than usual. Normally we go live at 3 p.m. GMT, UK time. But Ree's been on a course, so we've just moved it a little bit later this week, but we'll be back to normal next week. And should we jump straight in today? Should we go straight in? Okay, so Ree and P doing live. What number episode are we on? 5? 5?
5.
I have no idea. This is attempt 5 at life, and we're going to go straight in with our first question.
Oh, like no meditation?
Do you want to do one?
Oh, we have to do meditation.
Oh, I thought we were doing a nighttime meditation today.
We are. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
I don't have a nighttime meditation. I'm just going to be making one up on the spot.
That's okay. Part of it.
Pressure. I'm so exhausted and tired, but I'll just make
the journey.
It's all good. All right, we're going to kick straight off then. So why don't we do our emotion of the day? Everyone join in. What's your emotion of the day? Ree, what is your emotion of the day?
My emotion of the day is I put that in emotion. You know, my emotion of the day, oh my God, I've passed the whole day. My emotion of the day is clarity. How weird is that just took forever for me to get there, but really that's what it is. I know, just like the most awful thing. Hi, Egg.
So, emotion of the day is clarity. Okay, interesting. I like it. My emotion of the day is overwhelm. I am positively overwhelmed. So that's mine. All right. So what is your fear of the day?
My fear of the day. I don't have one today. I don't. I thought I would. I thought I'd have so many fears today, given that I just started this course, and I got nothing.
Okay, nice, good. So my fear of the day is that I won't get all my work done in time, and I've got deadlines, and I've got so much to do, and it's all taking longer. You know how things always take longer than you think they're going to take? You're like, I can do that in like an hour. 3 days later, I'm still working on it. So my fear, yeah. So was it?
Yeah.
So not getting everything done. And I think actually I really need this next question because I haven't taken time to focus on anything positive like this for the whole day, really. And that is, what are you grateful for?
Honestly, I'm grateful for my partner. today. I'm really grateful for my partner because within my chaos he just helps me find the calmness, and he really has in the last couple of days, and he's been very supportive with. I'm like, I gotta do my work, and I gotta do my course, and I don't want to do the dishes and food. And go buy me aloe for my skin. And he did forget the aloe, bless him. But you know what? Sometimes he's not big into this. He's kind of on his own thing, but he's so supportive in just his own way. And it's just like that ocean of calm right over me. And it's honestly been like, if it wasn't for him, just going, like last night, he was like, he knew he wasn't like, go to bed. He was just like, get what you need done and then go to sleep. Do you need something from me? And and it was just really calm. And then I woke up today and he was like, all right, do your thing. Like, you good? I'm good. And it was just an unspoken calmness. And I'm so grateful for it and I'm glad that I was able to see that, because I take it for granted all the time. I'm sorry, babe.
And it's good to have like a balancing energy, right? And people who are quite hyper need often a balance, and similarly people who are so chill sometimes need a little bit of pickup, and so that's good. I like that very much. I'm sure he likes that too. What am I grateful for? I'm grateful for amazing people that I can collaborate with on this wonderful journey and doing work. This is my third collaboration today already, and it's been awesome. So we are obviously doing this. Someone else I'm working with, we're doing a live stream next week on LinkedIn about a new way, a magical way of dealing with like difficult managers and all that sort of stuff, rather than traditional egoic ways that most people are taught to deal with things. There was like a massive trending article on LinkedIn about how to spot toxic managers. And it was just, when you learn what we learn about magic and how you can create and how much power you have and how to use your power and your energy and your consciousness, you just know that there's so many better ways to do things. So we're doing one on that. And then another beautiful, wonderful lady who I only recently met, we're doing a live stream as well next week on LinkedIn about technology and where we're headed. And, the fact that I think technology is advancing faster than our own consciousness, which is something we need to be very aware of. So 3 collabs today, and working on collabs. And I really appreciate that, because I just love working with other people, and the fact that the internet makes it possible for us to do that, and meeting other people, like-minded people, working together, ideas, collaborating, jumping in, going out your comfort zones. Like every piece of work that I'm doing, we're all going out of our comfort zones. We're all like, a bit scared, don't know, and we just keep going for it. And we support each other in that, which I love. So, if you've got dreams, you've got things you want to do, you need to find the right people to do them with, people who are going to jump with you, who are going to hold hands when you jump and just say, let's just go for it, let's just do it. And that's exactly what we did with this, right? We're like, let's just do it.
Go.
And so yeah, so it's good. It's good.
Yeah, amazing.
Tip of the tongue, Ree. What's on the tip of your tongue?
Tip of my tongue. Honestly, it's just been a lot to do with magic, and I think something that's kind of just really clicked with me in the last few days, kind of prepping for this course and prepping myself, is again, just growing and learning is just a life. Like, it's a journey, right? It's a journey every day. You wake up and you're like life, and then you're like, okay, what do I know and what is my knowledge, right? And again, this kind of comes from a conversation that I had with my partner, and and his thing is people live to the best of their ability, right? And he goes, no one's living wrong. They're living to the best of their knowledge. And I go, yeah, because their knowledge might be, this big, or their box of knowledge might be this big. And the more you expand that, the more you're able to live. And I told him, like, the conversation was, I don't think that people are truly, truly living to their highest abilities, right? And their consciousness. And he's like, no, you can't say that. And and we really got into a debate about it. And it wasn't me trying to convince him that that's what he should be doing. It was just me trying to say, like, we got into meditation, for example, and he goes, it's become a big fad, and like yoga is a big fad. He goes, where does it come from? I go, of course, if you date it back, it comes from India, right? It comes from Indian mythology and Indian, and all of that. But now it's become more Americanized and kind of being adapted. You hear every wellness person talking now about intuition and meditation and, on and on and on. And it's like, cool. But you really go down to the root, and then they're teaching this to people. And then people, yes, are able to live and expand through that. But it's such it's such a small piece of the puzzle in expanding knowledge. I know I'm kind of going everywhere. Let me bring it back home. My point is that it's really surprising to me that I'm coming to terms with the fact that not everybody lives to their higher consciousness, and some people might never get there, and people are slowly learning and getting there. But just kind of being okay and understanding that it's a different level of energy, and then making sure that you're surrounding yourself with that level of energy, and keeping yourself up there and not being pulled in and sucked back into that lower level. And it really truly is it's a magical thing. The more you see yourself kind of evolve, the clearer all the other, I guess, sleepers become around you, the more awake you get. And it's just it's really been bewildering. It's just kind of like, wow. And it's been huge for me this last week.
So I like that a lot. There's a couple of things happening I just want to touch on right now. Jimmy is with us, but Jimmy's comments are not coming through on my platform. So hello, Jim. For some reason, when he comments, Jimmy, I think you need to comment on the original post. But he says, tip of my tongue, magic happening. Jimmy's always with us in the magic. Who is Camille Dubinski?
Camille is a friend of mine from Vancouver, and there's Christina.
This is his
what does Camille
response
say?
to, I don't know what
Hi,
it was booming about. Jimmy, I got your comment. Hello, Jimmy. Our fan is here, our number one fan. We're very happy. And hello, everybody on Instagram who is watching. Thank you so much for joining.
Christina, my cousin Krish.
Really good point that Ree just made there. Like everyone's on their own
17
journey.
Sorry, guys. There's a lot. I know.
But it's really good. And, sometimes it helps me when you have that sort of view as well to remember that you were not always as conscious as you are, and you probably still can be a lot more conscious. And the more you develop, you will get more and more conscious. Like I used to remember when I was younger, I remember what it felt like to be not very conscious of myself or on any kind of journey. And I used to want all the material things and think that was going to make me happy, and that was it, and that and everything had to be logical and factual and evidence and science based and blah 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 blah. And if I couldn't see it, touch it, measure it, it didn't exist. All that. I was much more like that, like 15, 16, probably about 18, 19 years ago, something like that. And there were snippets in my life where I was more open to the magic and questioning existence and so on, but generally I was the opposite. And I can remember what that felt like now, where you are literally in a sort of, your consciousness is small, I guess is the word that comes to mind, is that you haven't quite expanded to another level or possibility or experience. I don't really like to even call it levels, another state. And I can remember very much what it felt like to live like that. So that helps me to remember, because sometimes when you see people, like you say, who aren't as conscious or who aren't aware, and you're like, why are you doing that? Or why don't you want to maybe grow and change in this way, or maybe help them with something, whatever it is, it can be quite hard. But you've just got to realize, like you said, that's where they are and they can't see beyond. It's like, this is how big the consciousness is, and you're over here, they can't see it, and that's not their fault. It's not bad, it just is what it is. But it's an important point. And everyone's journey is their own journey, right? And you can't really judge, and you can't really say anything. To be honest, they might think that we're just total weirdos, so they might think that their journey, they're already at their pinnacle of their existence, and maybe they are, so
But I just want to mention one more thing. So one more thing that kind of comes up with that is, me saying a lot of times to him, going, because they're living in their ego, right? And it's like, what is ego? What defines ego? And then we can get into the definition of ego from so many levels. But, I go, listen, I'm not saying he's like being, when you think of, oh, that person's such an egomaniac, and you just think of this like angry, like I'm right and I'm the ruler of the world kind of person. And there's so much more to ego than that. But it's just like, his point was that people are living
Mm-hmm.
to the best of, of their knowledge, the best way that they make choices, right? He did
Mm-hmm.
say, like, people make choices to live the way they want and they choose it. I
Mm.
go, yes, right? But if you think of it this way, it's like, would you like to eat raw mud or would you like to have, if you're thirsty, right? Would you like to have some mud, or can I give you some muddy water? Which one are you going to pick? If you're thirsty, what are you going to pick? You're going to pick the raw mud, or you're going to pick the muddy water?
Am I assuming I don't have options for clean water anywhere?
These are your two options. That's what I'm saying. When you're given choices in a
Yeah.
limited way,
Okay.
you're
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
to pick the best choice for you
I
in
get
that
you.
limitation, right?
I understand.
You
Yeah. Yeah.
can't go
Okay.
out of that limitation because
Yeah.
that's what you think you know, and that's
Yeah.
as much as far
That's
as you
it.
go. And
Yeah.
sorry, muddy water, but and that's the thing, and it's like, great, I think that I've made the best choice, right? But if I don't know any better, and if I don't raise my level of knowledge and wisdom, and I'm not just saying go read a book or watch TV and watch the news, I'm talking like, if you don't know more about yourself and
Mm,
something that's coming from within, and
mm,
really stop and listen and connect and all those things, we've talked about since day one,
mm,
how can you say that you're really making the best choice? You're
mm,
consciously making a choice. What about your unconsciousness? What about all those things you dream? You think they just kind of show up and then take off and they mean nothing?
mm,
No, those are things that have an impact, and you need to give
mm,
yourself the fair chance to
mm,
live, for your soul to really live its
mm.
its 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 true purpose, right? Its full purpose in life.
Yeah. Many people
So
don't think they have a soul. Many people don't know what's possible. It's a very complex
your
thing, right?
soul, your heart, your body, whatever you want to call it. So
Jim A says ego also sells shoes. I
and
don't know
cause
ego. And cause I will check them
ego.
out.
I don't know
I will
ego.
check
I'm
them out. I don't
kidding
know
about the
ego.
cars. I don't know
Is that a
ego.
British brand, Jim? I have no idea. Oh, there's your mummy.
Oh, hi, mom.
I think she meant hello, not hell.
She got really excited to see us.
Hello, Auntie. Thanks for joining us.
Help, mom.
Um, so, what I would like to do is show and tell time. So let's just give people a backstory to that if you weren't with us last week. Last week we talked all about play and creativity and art, and generally play was the theme of last week's discussion, and how important it is to play to get you out of your head, into your heart, into your body, to give you presence, to give you creativity, and really use different parts of your consciousness. And it's just something that we realized is we lose it from and we leave it behind in our childhood, and it's so important. So we set ourselves a challenge in our last week's session to both go and do some playing. Mine was to go and get my art stuff out. Basically, I bought some art stuff and start doing colorings and paintings and that sort of thing. And Reese was to start doing some strumming on her guitar. And we said we would come back and show you. And I'm not going to lie, as I say these words, I'm getting quite scared and nervous because my work is not that good. And I'm not Monet.
Stop. You played. How can you judge if your work was good?
That's
You're
exactly what
playing.
we said last week,
It's
isn't it?
literally what we said, right? You can't judge play.
No. And to be honest, if I did have to judge my play, what I would just say, it was amazing. I
Did you
loved
have fun?
it.
Did you have fun? Did
I
you
had
have
so
fun?
much fun. I had so much
I had
fun.
fun.
I had so much
I
fun.
wish I had more time to do it. I really do.
Yeah.
A lot of life happened last week, but I
Yeah.
still made sure that I put aside time and did it.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, I mean, I actually learned a lot of things as I was doing my playing. Firstly, like you say, it's fun. It immersed me in it, took me out of my head as I'd hoped and wanted and expected it to do. It meant that I was doing something creative and beneficial rather than spending that time scrolling through rubbish on like Instagram, Facebook, whatever, which is what I would normally do when I'm
which is
just going my
everywhere where
zombie
you
mode.
can catch our episodes, by the way, scrolling through.
By the way,
That's
yeah.
where
Well, only come on to watch us. The rest of it, no, that's not fair. Well, it is. No, I mean, sorry. There's a lot of rubbish
but
on these platforms, but point is, I normally waste a lot of time scrolling through stuff. And by doing my creative work, it meant that I wasn't doing that as much, which was great. And I also learned a lot about myself, my own ego, and where that was coming in. And when I first started, when I show you the pieces, I'll talk you through how my mind evolved as I went through them. So that's my little preamble to my show and tell of my artwork. And either we can go on to you, or shall I just do mine? Or what do you want to do? Do you want to
You're
get
in the
yours out of the
flow.
way?
Just go, man.
I'm so scared.
Stop. You're playing. Nobody's gonna judge you.
Okay, so look, I went and bought lots of pastels and black paper and stuff like from when I did art GCSE. I bought some flowers. I thought I'm going to start by drawing something that's in front of me. And so I did. And so here's my first item for you. This is a black paper piece with chalk pastel, which I forgot chalk pastel isn't very bright and I like bright colors. But anyway, here is a rose.
Oh,
There's the camera. There is a rose.
wow.
There's the camera. So there's our Instagram. There's my rose. Give me a thumbs up if you like my rose. Thank you. He gives me
thumbs up.
2.
Thumbs up.
So that was number 1.
Should have brought a
Little
scorecard.
scorecards. Yeah.
And scoring your play. You didn't play so well, Pinky.
So
do better next time.
Well, I did more plays. So can you look at my next plays? Oh, Jimmy, I'm going to put Jimmy's comment on the screen. Thank you, Jimmy. Jimmy says, wow.
Yeah.
There's more coming, Jimmy. Are you ready? Are you ready? So here's the thing that happened, right? Is I was like, okay, so I'm still drawing things outside of me. And I thought, oh, I like bright colors. So I need some paints because that would be brighter, vibrant colors. So I bought some paints and I continued my endeavors, my flower endeavors.
I like the purple and yellow one. That's my favorite.
So
those colors.
I know, me too, right? So this one I copied off of a picture and I didn't really like it. And then I thought to myself, why do I have to copy something out there? Why can't I just draw from my imagination, intuition, all these things, right?
Yes,
so then I thank you. So then I drew these ones and that one. So I was like, oh, I like the vibrant colors. No, it's not done yet, people. We're not done yet. I was like,
that's way more than you guys.
So well, I think it was Tamana.
Yeah.
Who said, flower a day. So I was like, that's a good way to do it. And I was just enjoying it so much that I just kept drawing and painting. So then I thought to myself, okay, I keep drawing things in real life. And now I'm drawing things from my imagination. I was like, well, why do I have to draw something that's real or a physical thing? And I thought, well, let's use the intuitive stuff, right? The imagination stuff where we go and we see what images we get. And something's been coming up for me around, creating my own little deck of cards and things with messages on, all about, welcome home and all about messages about welcome back home to your spirit and all that sort of stuff and your soul and creativity. And so I just sort of called through in my mind an image of something, whatever. I'm going to cover the bad one for now, and then I'll give you that one in a moment. And give
us everything.
You'll get it. Oh. So this was something that just came into my brain. And so I painted it. And so for me, this was really about the universe and color and creativity and just swirls and magical stuff. So this is my acrylic on canvas.
I like that.
I will also show you the fried egg stroke sunshine stroke golden ball of light stroke flower, which didn't quite work. So this one was
like it.
You like it? I'll post it to you. I'll cut it off there. I'll post it to you. You can have it gladly. It was supposed to be like the golden ball of light. And when I saw the image in my imagination, it was like the sun rising, the sunshine. But when I started drawing it, here's the thing. I got into how do I make a perfect circle? Which paintbrush should I use? And again, instead of being immersed in the end result and the creativity, I got stuck in the process, which is when you then mess up, especially when you're in creative flow. And so it ended up looking like a fried egg. And then I tried to make it into a flower. Never mind. But now here's the last one, because I thought, well, I've got paints, I've got pastels and colors. I need a digital. I need a little digital.
Right.
I've been wanting to get one of these. Yeah, I said I was going to get one, right? So I got a pad. I won't promote the brand. It's just a pad. And basically what I did, and this is where I got really excited, because I was like, this is now how I want to go forward. I want to paint from my intuition with paints like that last one, and then I put it on here and then I replicate it, and these are the kind of things you can print. So this is my version on my pad, which is a lot
Mm.
better, a lot brighter. And so I really enjoyed doing that. It was so fun. I loved it. And it's amazing what you can do on these things. And so I'm really glad. And I did have a play around with some other things. I can't really take credit for these because actually there's a tool on here where basically it does symmetry. So you just have to draw one squiggly line and it basically maps it across the thing. And so you don't really have to.
Oh, that one's really
It's
pretty.
cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I've been doing a lot of playing on here and I love it. And so that was my play, and I'm definitely going to continue playing, and I'm loving it. And again, it's the ideas are coming of me having my own little card deck or using these somewhere in a book or illustration of some sort. So that was my journey of play, and what I realized is that you can paint from your imagination, just like you create everything from your imagination. So, and art doesn't have to be a fine art painting, and there's other people that I know who are amazing artists, and I was judging myself. I was like, oh my god, this is so embarrassing. You're going to show this to people, but actually I realized that doesn't matter, and I just enjoyed it. Oh, I've got some comments, and then we'll go on to you, Ree. Thank you,
Oh.
Auntie. Thumbs up. Jimmy says purple and yellow is clearly an iris. Yes, that one was an iris. I do love those. And Jimmy says nice, fun, and very pinky. Yes. My pictures were very pinky, and that was it, right? It's an expression of you, and so that's why I really liked that last one with all the colors and the dark and the university magic-y sort of colorful feel. I love that. So that's what it is.
Very good. I just want to say,
Yeah.
that was incredible. Like,
Thank you,
oh my
darling.
God. I heard about your she stayed up till like 2 a.m. one night, guys, and she was on her pad, unnamed pad, coloring, and she was having a lot of fun. So I know that, this is not fake. This is real life, okay? But you've said a couple times you're embarrassed, and like I just want to point out that those feelings come up, right? That's what we're talking about. It's like that's a part of your belief system. That's how you grew up. This is like feeling the shame of judgment and what's someone going to think, and what if they don't approve? And it's like, no, stop. When those
Yeah.
feelings come up, you need to consciously stop and go, I'm playing.
Yeah.
And that's what we talked about with habit, right? It's a habit until you tell yourself over and over and over again, you're playing. It's going to feel like, no, I'm doing something wrong, or I got to do better. I've got to change somehow. And you just have to remind yourself until it becomes habitual where you're like, I'm playing. I don't care if you judge me. I don't care if you like it. I don't care. I don't care what you think. You'd be like, look, I drew a line. I think it's beautiful.
Do you know
I
what's
don't
also
care.
interesting as you're talking, it's coming through, is that the most authentic out of in terms of, no, not the right word, the most out of all those pieces, the one that truly came from my genius was the black one with the colors and the swirls.
And the egg.
And the egg. What's going on in my genius, but maybe it's hungry. But but that one was my most authentic inflow piece that followed through into physical reality in the way that it was meant to. And that's the one that I love the most, and I actually don't even care what anyone thinks about it because I just really love it and I can see it. It's my thing. And so the other ones we talk about the levels of genius, which I think we touched on in some of the other courses. But the levels of genius, you've got, you start at the bottom with, I think it's imitation, which is not genius at all. You just imitate other people. Then you have like skilled imitation, where you're a bit better and a bit more skilled, but you're still copying other people. And then there's low level derivative, high level derivative. And then there's genius, which is where you have no external reference and it all comes from within. And so when I think about, I was painting the flowers, it was still it was an imitation. I was imitating what I was seeing in front of me on the page. For me personally, that's how it felt. And I think that's why, although they were good and I enjoyed them, there's a little bit of sticking there. But when it came to what's in my imagination, put it on the page and just go for it. It doesn't make any sense to anyone else other than me. That was the one where I felt most in flow, enjoyed it most, and actually don't care what anyone thinks of it because it really, truly is my own expression and my creation. And I just enjoyed it. So that was an interesting learning for me as well. So go and do some plays, peoples. That's painting, art, singing, whatever works. And now we're going to have some music.
Oh yeah, we're not at music level yet, okay? For those of you, Jimmy, that know music, you might laugh, but I don't care, okay? Because I was truly excited, first of all, just to
I'm
hold
so
it.
excited. I'm so
Just
excited.
like, I really wanted an acoustic, but can I just say that just doing this for like what a couple hours, I was like, ow, my shoulder. So I'm really glad I don't have an acoustic guitar. Okay, you want to see what I learned? It's so basic. Even you played the drums, right? But I've never strummed a guitar before. Like I
Uh-huh.
bought it and I showed my kids, and I was scared to like do this,
Yeah.
right? And so I'll learn how to tune it. All right, I'll learn how to tune a guitar. Now
Nice.
I don't know exactly what it's supposed to sound like, so I use the app, which tells
Yeah.
me if it's tuned correctly. Because, like, I don't know, is it like how the hell do you know if it's tuned right? I mean, I guess I'll figure that out eventually.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned that there's 6 strings. Okay, you're laughing. I mean,
I'm laughing because you're laughing, and when you laugh, that always makes me laugh. But I think this is
I
amazing.
I knew that there's 6 strings, right? Because I can physically see them. But definitely. But I mean, I just learned how to strum basically. So okay, so I learned that if you just play like this,
Yeah.
it's a little off, right? See, I know that's a little off.
Yeah.
But if
Sounds
you just
loose.
play that, yeah, it's just a
Yeah.
bit. Play that. That's string 6, and that's open. So when
Okay.
you're not using
We can't see your hands. Are your fingers off the strings or on the?
they're on the ferret. So
What's
ferrets?
the ferret?
Ferret, Jimmy?
Jimmy.
Oh, thanks, my
Is it?
one of my friends. She's going back to work, but thanks for
Aw.
watching.
We'll still
Jimmy,
be on. You
is
can
it
watch it later.
is it a fret? A ferret? It's not a ferret because that's an
Fret.
animal.
It's
A
a
fret.
fret.
Yeah, it's their
Yeah.
frets.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, see, that's how much.
Ferrets.
When I put it on the first ferret, it turns into a rabbit, and then you go down and you've got the mouse. You've got a ferret, a mouse.
Okay.
Listen. So yeah. So then just kind of playing with the frets, right? So then you play like fret 1, and then you play fret 2 with a different finger,
Mhm.
and then you play 5 open,
Mhm.
and then you play fret 3 fret 3 on string 6. So I've
Mhm.
literally only been playing between the 2 strings.
Mhm.
Because it's an electric guitar,
Mhm.
it's the app. I gotta plug it into an amp so it's louder because it's not very loud.
Mhm.
But I just kind of I just had some fun, and then there's no one was watching me, so I just kind of did some of these, and then I was like, that sounds awful, and then I was like, I just want to do, but it's not an acoustic, so I can't do that. I just you know what I liked it, and what I realized is that it's not easy. Like you've got to use the right fingers on these
Mm.
things, and it's just like I've also got oh yeah, I've got my pick here too, and I've kind of been playing around with using a pick. Is there anyone who plays a guitar here? What do you guys think? Like, do you
It's a
prefer a pick?
plectrum.
Oh, what?
A plectrum.
But a pick.
Oh, is that Canadian thing? Oh, here we go. Every amateur does get better eventually. Are the strings? Okay, you know what that word means.
A, D,
Oh,
E,
is
D,
that
E.
the notes?
Oh,
Is that notes? Or is
I
that a
haven't.
brand of
I didn't
string?
get that. No, that's the notes. I'm pretty sure that's the notes. I don't think I got that far yet. I just learned that there were 6 of them, and that's been 6.
And there's ferrets on the end.
And there's ferrets
You know
on the
we're
end
going
of
to
the
use that
guitar.
forever now.
But you know what was really fun is that the songs they're practicing with was this like music that I love that I actually haven't listened to in a while. Like there was
Yep.
Nirvana and there was like Led Zeppelin, and I was like, oh, this is really good stuff.
Yeah.
This is really
Yeah.
good stuff. And yeah, and so I tried it with let's try it with this. I don't love it with the pick.
I have a feeling that once you get an amp, you're going to be on that all day, man.
I've got
Tearing the streets down with your like,
I have a little headphone plug-in thingy for it, so
Yeah.
it
Oh,
should
so
be
you can get a
alright.
little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited though. I mean, I
Good.
spent 2 hours just playing string 5 and 6 back and forth, and here I was like, hey guys, I'll have a song ready for you. Oh boy, that's it. So watch me live, come to my concert. Listen, okay, if you were a kid, that's how you would be too. And I'm not embarrassed in any way that I didn't make it there. I enjoyed it and I liked it. And
Good.
And I'm not gonna lie.
It looks good on you as well, by the way.
Well, thank you. I'm
Suits
gonna
you.
like,
Suits
oh, what are you
you.
wearing tonight? I think I just might
My
wear my
guitar.
I'll just like strap it on the back, like, what do you got
Talk
there? Oh,
around.
just my guitar, knocking people over. Anyway,
I love it.
yay.
Awesome. Very good. Very good. And we're definitely, what we'll do is we will keep that up, right? As we progress,
Yeah,
we
I
can
think so.
continue to show a little bit more. And, and I think, hats off to you, man. Like, my brother plays guitar and I used to pick that up and I couldn't do a thing. I've heard that they say that people who can play piano tend to be able to also play strings. And then people who play percussion can tend to play more, obviously, the percussion stuff. But there's something in link between piano and strings. It's a certain skill. I'm just getting an echo. Can you just talk while I sort my
Hello.
audio out?
Yes, I was gonna say, actually, when I was younger, I totally forgot. I played the harmonium. I don't know how I forgot this last time. Like,
Harmonium? Remind me what that is.
That's like the Indian
It is that with
the Indian
piano harmonica,
no
not
harmonica.
yeah. I know what you mean.
Accordion, like the
That's
Indian
it.
accordion, right?
Yep.
And well, thanks, Christina. But yeah, it's like the Indian accordion, and
yeah,
I remember my parents made me learn that, and I was like, when am I ever gonna play this? But I was pretty decent at it. I could play full songs and stuff, and it was hard. It was hard because you're literally just doing this with like one hand, and then one hand
also
is
playing. Yeah,
right?
Very skillful.
So it's a lot of like like multitasking happening. But you know what? I'm really excited about the guitar. I think I can do it, and we'll see. We'll find out. Stay tuned.
I remember we're just playing, right? We're playing. And it's good
fun. We're playing.
Give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Fantastic. You're still getting an echo? Just turn it off and back on.
Yeah, I've been doing that. We'll try a few different things. We shall see.
Sorry, guys, having slight technical difficulties. Thanks for watching. I played a little bit more too. It wasn't just the guitar. Like I've been taking a bit more me time, and then like kind of like panic in the middle. And what I realized too is that how we play changes, right? Like what we want to play with, like our choice of toys is always going to change, right? Like people have like people that are into cars and motorbikes, and they're like, oh, I want to get my bike done, and this is what I'm doing. Yeah. That's play. That is play, right? And someone like me was like, oh, I don't wear a lot of makeup, so I just went on like this summer makeup shopping spree online, and I was just really excited to like. For those of you who are like makeup junkies, I've never used a foundation brush to ever apply foundation. I've also only like ever worn foundation like a handful of times in my life, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna try this foundation, and I bought a brush, the works, and I like did my makeup and like put on eyeliner, and and I was like, this is fun. And then my partner comes out and he's like, where are you going? I'm like, nowhere. I'm actually gonna go take a shower now. Thanks for coming out.
I used to do a lot of that with like nail art. I used to love doing nails. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I'm still getting echo in my ear, and I'm pressing while Ree is keeping you guys entertained, and it doesn't appear to be fixing it at the moment. So let's just keep going, because I think it's kind of fading itself out, and hopefully
something just changed in your sound though.
Did it? Is it bad?
No, it just went like a little bit more far away.
Far away?
Yeah.
Can you still hear me though?
I can. You sound a bit underwater.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe let's not do that.
A bit fishbowly.
And how is this now?
Oh, perfect.
Okay, so I'm back on my headset. I think I turned it off. But there's no echo for now, so let's keep going. So what's our next topic? Oh, I've got another thing from Jimmy. Jimmy says, I last heard the harmonium in the Golden Temple in Amritsar. You've been there. Good man, Jimmy.
I have not been there, Jimmy.
Have you not?
No.
The only one I've been to, and I went to a lot of temples. But do you know where I haven't been? Even though I've been to India like 15.
Taj Mahal.
I've never been to Taj Mahal.
Me neither. I lived there for 8 years.
You never went there?
I've never been to Taj Mahal. Should we go? All right, guys. Re-NP, do
Okay,
life once
bye.
everything opens up. Not yet, but maybe like
Yeah,
in a
not right
year.
now.
Taj Mahal, we're coming.
Do you know
Yeah.
that I would like to go. There's a lot of things in India I'd like to see, but when I go, you tend to sort of stay at home and sort of, you don't, and it's a massive country, right? So there's so much of it that I've never seen. I only ever go to the north and stay with family and see a few things, but there's so much more. I want to go to the south. I want to go to Goa. I want to see all the temples. You see videos of like temples on lakes and things, and I just really want to experience the nature and more of the spiritual side of things. So one day I will, but I actually haven't been since 2007. So that's what, 13, 14 years since I last went to India. And I'm not massively right now called to go there. I'm like, Thailand, please, Bali, please. There's a lot of other places. Tahiti, please, Mauritius, please, Seychelles, please. but I would like to at some point. Jim's been touring in India. He says, I spent several months touring in India in 1994. Very cool,
Hey, I lived
dude.
there then, Jimmy. Yeah,
Interesting.
I was a wee one, but I was there.
Nice.
I lived in the south in Bangalore, so it is probably, in my opinion, one of the most beautiful places at that time to live in. The weather
Yeah.
is amazing. It doesn't get like too hot and it doesn't get too cold, and they have like 5 seasons with the monsoon and everything, and it's really nice. But I was going to ask you, if we don't have any more comments, what is on
Yeah.
the tip of your tongue today?
Oh, I forgot I didn't do my tip of the tongue. Such a tongue twister, that one.
It's a tongue twister for sure.
Tongue twister, tongue. The tongue, tip of
Is
my
it
tongue.
ferret got your tongue?
Oh God. The tip of my tongue is the tip of my tongue right now actually is I'm having fun. And I've gotten into this before. It was, had you asked me that earlier, it was really just around my overwhelm. I have so much stuff going on. I just keep piling things on and forgetting that things take longer than you think, and so then I get overwhelmed. And then my ego comes into play and makes things a lot more complicated. So I get really stuck in details, and then I try and make things perfect, which is all dysfunction, which takes a lot of time and energy. And I also leave things to the last minute. Very good skill to have. Not, it's really annoying. Really, for me personally, it's a really bad, dysfunctional thing to do. And I just take on a lot. And I think I have one of my root beliefs is that if I don't work hard, if I don't feel pain in the pursuit of something, then I don't deserve it. And I haven't proved myself and I'm not worthy of it. And life is hard and hard work is life. And I know that definitely comes from my cultural conditioning and from my parents. But also that's just part of my ego, and that is, an egoic trait that many people may have. But that's one of mine. And I can become unconscious of it, obviously, right? That's what happens. And I sort of reflect on it sometimes, but I need to work through it definitely, because life doesn't have to be hard all the time. It doesn't have to be difficult. And this myth that you have to work really hard to get anywhere, we have to be very careful about using that word, work hard. And what does that really mean? It's actually, yes, you have to work, but you don't want to, this thing of like screw yourself into the ground with hard work to get what you want is actually really unhealthy, and it's a very common part of the Western sort of system, if you like, and the Western culture. But I think, and especially when we know magic as we do, we know that actually creating what you want and manifesting is not hard. It's actually harder to stay in your ego and use all those old patterns of trying to create something in the physical world, by moving the physical world around, rather than using magic, which is go to the root of the physical world, which is the energy from which the physical world comes. And you change your state, you change your energy, use the higher against the lower, and you work on that. And then from there, you then create and you take inspired action, which is not the same as do, just do stuff, do, whatever, which is all driven by your ego and your dysfunctions, and really just sends you around quite a useless path. But I am in that right now quite a bit, and I see it all playing out. And look, that's part of my journey, because it's one of the things I really need to work on, and want to work on. But I have had many occasions in my life where I've achieved amazing things with little effort. because when you're in the flow, when you're in the zone, when you're in high vibration, when you're aligned to your truth, magic does happen. But at the moment, yeah, I've just gotten very overwhelmed. And so on the tip of my tongue really is just this, it's just that really. It's just the how my life is at the moment, how my days are. And I'm not complaining in the sense that I'm very lucky in many ways and I'm grateful. But the reality is I am working from a very dysfunctional place at the moment. And I know that it's not my best state to be in. And it just gives you like anxiety and stuff.
So, what if we just take a few minutes before we go into our closing meditation and all to talk about, maybe let's tap into it and see
mm,
what's coming up for you, and I'll see what's
mm,
coming up, and
mm,
and just see what we can come up with to deal with that overwhelming feeling.
mm,
To see if
mm,
there's, I'm sure you're not the only person working from an overwhelming place, right? Like we touched
yeah.
on this in 2 episodes ago when we talked about the stress of like, we've been banned, and then kind of continuing to work from that feeling by
Yeah.
just brushing it under, just being like, I know I'm overwhelmed, but I have a deadline, so I still have to do it. And it's like, what are you creating? What are you producing when you're in that
Mm,
zone, right? Are you really
exactly.
like, just because and it's like, well, I've got to get stuff done, and it's like, no, stop,
Stop. Yeah.
stop, breathe,
Yeah.
listen.
Yeah. And that's the thing I find really hard to do once I'm in a role of like do and stress, and I become very unconscious, right? Because that's what it is. You get more and more entrenched in ego, which is unconsciousness, and you don't even realize that you're doing it. And then there's a little part of me that sneaks in that's like, you're not working in your best state right now. But I'm like, good, I haven't got time to worry about that. I've got to keep going, which is so counterproductive, really. But yeah, we can tune into what I'm getting a sense of is why don't we just do a couple circles, a couple of intuitive circles.
Mm-hmm,
One is my ego, my
mm-hmm.
victim, my identity. And then the other one I would say is my creator and my genius. Those are the words that really resonate for me. And I would like to get a tune into, from those two perspectives, me having lots of things on my plate and having lots of projects and pieces of work on at the moment. So really, how does my ego and my identity and my victim deal with having lots of things on at the moment, and perceive that? And then how does my genius and my creator, my truth, perceive having all of that stuff on? And that would help me to shift into the higher vibration, and seeing it from a higher state, which is essentially what this is all about, right?
And
Um,
I'll invite Jimmy to join us in these circles. Jimmy,
Jimmy, come do a
anything quick?
circle. That would be
We'll
wonderful.
get some feedback from Jimmy as well.
Please, I'd love that.
All right, so we're gonna start with, let's close our eyes.
Okay, go into innocence. Be of service to me, please. And
Yes,
I be of
yes.
service to myself, to my higher self. And so let's say if you're coaching me, you go first.
All right. So
So
draw a circle around a Pinky, visual circle, solidify that circle, and let's call it Pinky's ego working from a place with a lot on her plate.
mhm.
A lot on her plate. Oh, what's obvious to me is in your victim, your excitement of all these new projects and all these different things is completely diminished, and it's almost like you let yourself feel like it's so much and it's too hard and I can't do it, and you tell yourself that, even though you're still creating and you're still doing, because you know you're going to do it and you're going to reach that end, but you're telling yourself that you can't do it. And then when you get to the end of the when you actually end up creating what you are meant to create, you look at your work at the end and go, oh well, that's not my best work, and kind of fall back into this circle of, well, I should have done better, but I didn't do better, and oh, I'm not doing a good job, and it's not perfect, and it brings you right back to that belief of, I need to be perfect, and everything needs to be perfect, and you're just holding on to that perfection, but really you're limiting yourself and your victim to get to that perfection. But really, it's not how many things you have on your plate, but I think perhaps what I'm seeing in your victim circle is there's no list. There's just a bit of scatter. You almost let it scatter around, so that you do a little bit of this and you do a little bit of this, and then you still got to do a little bit of this, and by the time you you get lost in what you're doing, and the clarity is gone in your victim circle. And in your victim, you tell yourself that you're not going to do the best job, so you're just going to continue to do and create whatever you get. And in your victim, you allow yourself to create things that maybe aren't the best and to the best of your ability, but then tell yourself that it's okay because you didn't have the right time and you didn't have the tools, and it's almost like a blame game comes up. And then there's other factors that kind of start to feed into this. And then in your victim circle, I can really see you just kind of standing back from these things that are just piling up on you and overwhelming you, to go, you know what, I'm obviously not good at this, and I'm obviously not good enough. And then you kind of start re-questioning your decisions and your choices. Like, is that collaboration right? Is that right? Am I doing this right? And your ego just takes over entirely in your victim circle, and you almost feel hopeless. You're just left there feeling hopeless.
Awesome. Thank you. Absolutely. Yeah. All of that. You already know it's all of that. So I'm going to tune in and see what I get. Me and my victim circle and my ego and my identity with having lots of things on my plate is there's a real sense of there's not enough time. Which is why I also create the scenarios where I say that I end up not having enough time. I leave things to the last minute because that's my root belief, is that like time is running out, lack, scarcity. I have to move fast. I have to get everything done fast. If I don't move on this collaboration or this piece of work or something right now, then it's going to go away forever and I'm never going to get the opportunity again. I'm never going to get any other opportunity again. And life is running out, time is running out, and I'm moving too slow and I'm not achieving fast enough. And so there's this real big focus on time and my belief that it's running out and I don't have enough of it, which is why I think I then create scenarios to solidify that belief, which is how the mind works, to say the ego works, to show that I don't have enough time. So I leave everything to the last minute and I pack too much in so that I don't have time to do everything. So there's really a sense of racing against some arbitrary clock, thinking that it's all on me. I have to get it all done on time. I have to get it all done really, really fast. I've got to move fast because time is running out. That's the big thing that's coming up for me at the moment.
One thing that really came up is you don't trust yourself. There is, in your victim circle, there is zero trust. There is no trust that you can do this. And that's why it's a feeling of overwhelm, because really there's there's in your victim circle, you've got, a handful of things that you need to do. And you've always known that you need to do these things. And yes, you're fighting with the time, and I see that kind of rush, but it's like you're letting yourself be bound by these outside circumstances and these little projects. And I say little in the sense that you are so much bigger than them and you are so much greater than them. But in your victim circle, you've like shrunk in size, and these projects are like coming to haunt you and eat you like monsters because you're letting them, because you've given the power to these outside forces because you don't trust that you can do a good job on them. So if you give the power away, and then you're in panic, and then you go into panic mode, and you think that you work better under that stress and that you're going to create under that stress because you've just got to get it done. I mean, you're not letting and allowing yourself to create to the ability that you're capable of, because when you just stop and trust yourself and you look at it from an outside perspective instead of the victim perspective, it's so different. And I'm already getting the next circle. It's like starting to, I'm just going to go to it. I'm going to go to your greatness circle, if that's okay. I'm just going to move right into it because I'm getting like this infinity sign kind of connecting your victim circle that leads you right into your greatness circle. There's this pathway because all you need to do is just literally just walk through these projects and these things that are holding you down and just look at it from the outside. And in your greatness, it's like they're such a small dot on your whole day and your whole existence, these 4, 5, 6 things that you need to get done. They're so easy that you could do them in your sleep. The reason that these projects came to you is because you're good at them, because this is something you want to do, because it's something you love doing, and because a lot of it is just play. A lot of it is just kind of stepping back and letting you and letting P do what what she does in her greatness, and just letting the creativity flow. And when it stops flowing, and when you feel and that you're kind of walking back into that infinity line, into the victim circle, because it's going to keep pulling you back, and you need to break that tie from it. Just kind of take a step back and breathe, and really just in your greatness, it's okay. You realize that it's okay to take 5 minutes to yourself. It's okay to take 20 minutes to yourself, because 20 minutes is not going to make a difference. It's once you put that time on something, like, this is going to take me 30 minutes to do it. In your greatness, there is no time. In your greatness, your time is you're not bound by time. You're not bound by anything. All there is in your greatness, just revolving around you, is the ease of just the creativity just flowing into each project, just like love, just like butter, just kind of coming through. It comes right through you, and just it becomes, and it might not be anything that you expected it to be, because in your greatness you have no expectations. It's just what you want it. It's exactly what it needs to turn out to be. And whether it's something that you had intended for it to be, that's all gone. In your greatness, it's perfect. There's no flaws, and you've done the best you needed to, without any effort or any energy, and you feel empowered by your work, not overwhelmed. It's the opposite. Your work empowers you in your greatness, and it really leaves you feeling vibrant and going, oh, you know what? I've actually got some time to draw a picture and a flower, because I've just, with such ease, completed and done everything that I needed to do, because it just flowed, and I let it flow.
I love that. Thank you.
Oh.
I really like that, Aran. That really, these projects and all the bits of work I've got, I'm turning them into these huge things, when actually they are small dots in my life, my existence, in the journey. And it is, that ease and flow, and it is play. Like, all the things I'm doing, all the stuff I'm working on is so, it is what I love. It is everything that I want to do. And I'm turning it into a painful experience, even though it's actually my dreams, which I guess is what the ego does. It turns everything into a painful experience. Before I step into my own greatness, I just want to share what Jim got, because bless his heart, he's done some tuning in. So Jimmy tuned into my victim circle, my victim mentality around being overwhelmed. What's obvious to me is you jump onto a treadmill and run, run, run. Yep. But still in the same spot. Yeah. Oh, I like that. Everything starts to become formulaic and the juice is drained. Yes, yes, yes. It's also obvious that the to-do list dominates. Yeah, the to-do list is I have an interesting relationship with my to-do list. Sometimes it's healthy, sometimes it's restricting me. So again, it's go for it. And so sometimes it's really, as we say, it's not what you do necessarily, it's where you come from when you're doing it. So the what that I'm doing is amazing projects, amazing work, loads of things I've got going on that I love, that I'm so excited and grateful to do, because they are my dreams. But it's not the what, it's not those things, it's the where you come from when you're doing it, which is exactly what Rita was saying. Is I'm coming from that place, and like Jim says, I'm coming from that place where I just get on a treadmill and run, and I don't go anywhere. Jim's also given me a greatness reading. Thank you, Jimmy. So in your greatness, you're able to acknowledge that you have done all the hard work and have many years of answers, so you can just flow, relax, enjoy your essence and true nature and purpose. OMG. Thank you, Jimmy. That is so true. Oh,
Sorry. Sorry, that's me. Sorry, guys.
Are we good?
I think so.
Yeah. I love that, and that's really true and important, is that I've already got it. Like, one of the things, I'm doing a webinar next week, and it's like, I've already got it. I've already got it. That, like, this, I don't need anything new. I've got the knowledge, I've got the experience. Just do it, and I overcomplicate. And the relax and the flow and getting into it, I absolutely love. Thank you, Jim. I really appreciate you joining in with that. So I'm going to do a quick jump into my greatness circle very quickly, and then we will close. So I'm just going to go into my genius, my creator, my greatness with regards to being overwhelmed, and it actually finds it hilarious. It finds my ego hilarious in the way that I'm turning this into such a mountain. I'm making mountain out of molehills, and I'm actually thinking that these things are overwhelming and hard when, like I said, they're my dreams, they're my gifts, they're my talents, they're what I love doing, and in the grand scheme of existence, they're just little steps, little tiny things. And actually, in my greatness, I actually just find it hilarious that I can create so much turmoil out of something like this because actually, I'm actually having a great time, and I'm very lucky, I'm very blessed, and I am. I'm having a great time. Like I'm having so many amazing opportunities left, right, and center to work with amazing people, and it's like what, like, what is there to possibly have an issue with or to be bothered by, or to create tension around. So that's interesting. And also in my greatness, it's exactly like you guys said. It's ease, it's flow, it's slick. It's just done, done, move on, next one, done. I just get on with it. I do my work. I know it. It comes from genius. It flows. If I'm teaching, I'm training, I'm doing collaboration, whatever it is, it just comes through and it flows and it's effortless because I already am what I need to be or what I think I need to be in order to create what I'm doing. I already have it. I already am it. There's nothing more to gain. It's just a case of applying it, and knowing that this is fun and this is my genius and my truth, and therefore it just happens. It just works and it just happens and it's effortless and I love it. So yeah,
I just want to add,
go for it.
I have to reiterate, there is no clock in your genius. I'm looking for it. And there is no clock. There is no time in your genius. And in your victim, the clock is so clear. The whole thing is just this big, massive project. Just like literally all they're going is tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. And they're haunting you because you are putting this time into them like you are bounding them by time in your greatness. There's no clock, there's no time, and everything is just so easy because you don't need the time. Like you have so much of it that these little dots, these little specks of projects in your life that are just starting are gonna, they take no effort, they take no time. You've got so much more to still create and do. That these are just like a side thing. They're just like, they're little, they're small, and they're amazing and beautiful in what they are, but they're so small and minuscule in the grand scheme of your greatness. Like they're so small. So yeah, it's
love it. Thank you. I love doing these readings and I love receiving them. Thank you. And we have some questions on the Insta. So I'm just going to try and scroll down and see those. Although it's not letting me scroll very effectively.
Lex Remzi asked, what are you talking about?
Who's Lex?
I don't know.
What are you talking about? Well, that depends at what point you joined our live stream. So
just recently. So what we're talking about is we were just doing a circle, a conflict circle, which is one of the tools that we've learned through our course, one of our courses, on a situation that P is dealing with, which is just her emotion of today, which is overwhelm, and just kind of breaking it down. These circles just help you go in and analyze, what your situation is.
Intuit.
Intuit. Not analyze, intuit. From within, right? Just going into really what is the basis of this conflict or this feeling that you're having and this feeling of overwhelm. And then going into your greatness and your true kind of, your higher, what would you say? Your higher conscious, your higher consciousness, your super conscious, and then seeing it from there and going, and you realize how small these problems or feelings are in comparison to what you're capable of from your greatness and from your higher level when you act from a higher place in your consciousness. So hopefully P will take this and and it's so easy though. It's so easy to go into your ego and go, oh, but there is a clock and there is time, right? And we do have to deal with it. But then you just stop. stop
That's
and don't.
just a belief that I'm creating in my head.
Mm.
And thoughts and feelings are just things that we create in our heads. And they are not who you truly are in your soul, in your greatness, in your infinite consciousness, and your pure essence, which is beyond time and beyond space. But that's really the work that we're doing for ourselves, is and helping others with as well, is to live from your highest state, live from your highest consciousness. Because I think probably I reckon 90% of the planet live most of their life in ego, in lower consciousness, in beliefs, in thoughts, in feelings, in restrictions, in rigidity, and in fear and stress, and all these things which we all have within us. We all have it. But if you want to ascend, if you want to live a wonderful life, if you want to be a creator and not just be at the whim of the circumstances in your life, and yet you want to create your experience of life, then it's all about learning to master your own consciousness. And that's what we do. But it's not something you just do once and then you nail, right? We call it the battle of evermore. That's what we're trained in. The
Yeah.
training is the battle of evermore, because every day you wake up and your lower nature, your lower consciousness is going to come straight in and start telling you all the problems, all the things that are bad, all the things you're going to fail at, whatever it is, however it talks to you, which is different for each of us. But there are themes and trends that we will all experience, and it's up to you to step in exactly the way we just did, using your intuition to deconstruct that, to neutralize it, and then step into your higher state, your super conscious state, your genius, whatever we want to call it, your soul, your essence. And from there, you see truth. From there, you see wisdom. And from there, you see in your greatness who you really are, and how you really, from a higher level, can perceive these things that your human state makes out to be huge issues, but actually they don't even really exist. And this is the state of genius. This is the realm of genius. And we look at other people like Einstein and Tesla, and we go, oh, these people were geniuses. Well, so are you. Everybody is a genius. You've just been taught that you weren't. You've just been somehow we have amnesia, if you like, and we forget who we are, and we forget, and we don't know that we have higher states of consciousness that we can access and use to be geniuses. You are all geniuses. But we've totally forgotten, and that's again what this work is about. Reconnect with your genius, know who you truly are, because you all have genius within you. And the most beautiful earth comes, so excited I'm throwing my pens around when I'm speaking. The most beautiful earth comes when we all step into our genius and stop acting from our lower nature, our stress, our fear, our fight flight response, our divisions, our beliefs that we're all separate from each other, our beliefs that we're not good enough, our beliefs that we have to fight, that the material world is here to be manipulated by us to try and get what we want, that we're unsafe, and all these things. These are all lower natures, from animalistic to human intellect, the lower nature. You want to go into your God nature, which is your superconscious. This is what we're doing. And you act from there, you live from there, you're inspired from there. And if we all did that, we'd have a very nice world. And then maybe that's a utopia that we may never achieve. I don't know. But actually, at least we can achieve it for ourselves. When you live from that state, you will see the world in a whole different way. You will see yourself in a whole different way. You will create. And this is one thing to remember, it's like people talk about law of attraction. But actually, what we're realizing and what we've been taught is it's about the law of creation. So you are a creator. Yes, you attract and you manifest, but in the ways that this stuff has been taught, it's not really been taught in the right way. It's about understanding that you are a creator, a conscious creator of your reality. And that's something that takes some work. And it takes knowledge and training and practice to be a magician, to be an alchemist, to use your consciousness, to manage your consciousness, and to master your life, really, is what it's about. So that's the journey we're on. And Ria's helped me to do that today
And
with my
Jimmy,
issues. And Jimmy always
Jimmy.
helps. Thank you, Jimmy. And so,
That was well said. I mean, there's nothing to add to that. That was perfect.
well, let's go on to then, as it's getting late now, although there's no such thing as time. But let's go to lesson of the session. So let's share our lesson of the session.
Go ahead.
Okay, my lesson of the session is the joy. Hang on. Let me tune into this. My lesson of the session is, in any moment, you can elevate your energy by doing what you love. So before this session, I felt tired. It's late. I've had a busy day. Like I said, I was overwhelmed. Blah 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 blah. I get on here. I chat to Ree. We do our thing. We go in our vibes. We got us. We're going. We're doing what we do. And I've totally elevated my energy. I've totally shifted my energy. I'm probably now gonna have problems trying to get to sleep because I'm so like, hey. So
Stop overthinking it.
I know that's so true, right? But that's my lesson of the session, is that in any moment you can choose to do something and immerse yourself in an experience that is true and authentic for you, whether that's playing or doing something like this, whatever it is that you want to do, and it will elevate your energy instantly, or in a matter of minutes. And that is what we call magic. So that's my lesson of the session. You go, Ree.
My lesson of the session is, don't limit yourself to choosing muddy water if your choices are mud and muddy water. If you're thirsty, right? Don't limit yourself, because get out of that box and get out of that limitation and break it down and learn. And do that by learning and opening up to things that are unknown to you. So let yourself kind of just open to the fear of the unknown and the wisdom. Let it come. And some things might resonate for you and some things might not, but you might be given, presented different options, and see what works for you, right? That the end, that muddy water might be something that you decide is right. But I promise you, when you have more knowledge and when you have more wisdom, and your consciousness just rises to a different level. Like I'm telling you, you see things differently, you feel things differently. And when you get to that level, you're going to make choices differently. So don't think that you're living your life to your full capacity just because you're happy with don't settle. And we don't settle with everything else. You know what? My lesson of the session, there you go. It always comes at the end, right? You talk and you talk. Don't settle. Don't settle for where you're at, because there is an unlimited amount of wisdom and knowledge floating around in everywhere, in time and space, and you just have to connect to it and be open to it.
So I'm going to follow that with tip of the day, which also links to something that you were talking about when you were talking about this earlier, is the importance of finding people that are in the vibe, in the zone. If you feel like you're surrounded by people who are not growing, who are not elevating their own lives, their own consciousness, they're stuck in what they're stuck in. And if there's a part of you that's yearning, there's a little niggling thing in you, because if you're getting that, it means you're probably on the path of greater things. And so follow that. So if you have, because if you're not, you don't even know that anything else exists, right? You just plod along in your life and whatever. But if there's a part of you that knows there's something more, follow that nudge, follow that breadcrumb. And a really important way to do that is to find people and communities and trainings and teachers and so on, that are at that level and are teaching and are helping and supporting and growing together, because it's really important to be around people who are on that journey with you. I think you can't do it alone. No one grows alone. It's really important to have people around. So that's my tip of the day. We have some things to think big, somebody said.
That's
yes.
my friend Aurora. Think big. That's
Hello,
right.
Aurora. Absolutely. Aurora. Look, man.
Oh, you're frozen on Instagram.
Oh, so have you.
Oh, that's awkward.
Okay.
Oh, you're back.
Oh, no, there you go. You're back.
But, yeah,
So what's your tip
I
of the
just
day?
wanted to add, you know what? That's my tip of the day. I'm with P. You know what? Hi, Bree. Find like-minded people, but in growth, right? It's that you are a product of your environment, and don't allow yourself, if someone around you thinks exactly the same thing and all they're presenting to you is mud and muddy water as your choices, you know what? Question that. Get out of that. Go see what else is there, because there's so much. And if you don't, go explore.
Yeah.
Go explore, right? The explorer, the word explorer, there's so much more to that. I don't want to get into it, but the word explorer comes from a much wider definition of something else. And the word experiences comes from that.
Are you literally not going to tell me that? Because I'm so excited to know that now.
The word,
I won't tell you though. Excuse me.
It's, you know what? We'll save that for next time. The word, not the word explorer. I lied. It's the word experience. It's the word experience. I will put it up in my next post. Check it out, guys. The word experience.
I will Google it because I want to know now, because I'm so impatient.
But the word experience, which comes from this other definition, and go out there, experience it. That's my tip. That's my tip. Go and create your experiences, and you can never create alone. A creator never creates alone. Remember that.
I like that. I just put Jimmy's comment up, which is the community is ace, and he's talking about our community in the Natural Success Community, which is an organization that teaches these things that we've been learning from and training in, and it's full of amazing magical people, and we really support each other in our own growth and our own journeys, and it's just such a beautiful place to be in. Like exactly like Reese just said, creators never create alone, and as we've said with the tip of the day, you've got to be with other people, and if you want to find a group of people, that is the one you want to be in. And not you got to go with your own truth, right? Whatever works for you, whatever teachings works for you, whatever books, whatever people, it's not for everyone, but you've got to have your own discernment to know. But we are definitely very grateful and really enjoying being part of that community, because it's shifting our lives, and what could be better than that? So all right, it's 22:14. I feel like I'm a news reporter. The time is 22:14, and now over to Ree with the weather.
The weather is sunny with a chance of meditation.
Oh, mate. Are we doing meditation?
Just a quick one. Quick 5 minutes, close it down.
Okay, people. I was about to go, bye, I'm going to bed now. And Ree just reminded me that we're going to do a meditation. Okay, fine. All right. So I'm
I think
gonna
you need
call
it more
in
than
my.
I think you need it more than anyone tonight. So let's just do it because you need it. This is for you, P.
This is so
All right,
true.
everybody, we're supporting her in this journey. Let's support each other. She needs it. Let's go.
Okay, so we're gonna do a meditation. This will be a sleepy one, for everybody, as it may be bedtime for many people, but may also not be. So you can just have a nap after this, or whatever you want to do, or just get on with your day, whatever works. But I am now getting echo in my ear. I kid you not. Give me 1 second.
Sure. I just want to say, if you're driving, please do not operate any machinery or vehicles, and close your eyes to do this meditation, please.
Yeah. All right, so I am still getting echo, and I might have to ignore it. Is it going? Is it going? I wonder if it changes when I move a little. Okay, no, we're good. Okay, so everyone, as Ree said, I would suggest that you close your eyes for this one, and wherever you are, make sure you're in a safe and comfortable place where you can do that. And I'd like you to just relax wherever you're seated or maybe lying down, and just take a few deep, slow, conscious breaths through your nose and out through your nose. Just make sure you breathe deep into the base of your belly. And each time you exhale, just let your muscles loosen. Just imagine as you exhale, you're releasing any tension from your body. And you can really just visualize that tension, if there is any, maybe in your back, maybe in your legs, could be anywhere. As you breathe out, just visualize it moving through your body and out of your body with your breath. And now I'd like you to imagine, as you're seated here, that you can imagine your body starting to gently rise up and float off your chair or off the bed that you're lying down on. It's a very safe, gentle experience. Just imagine that you're floating up very gently. and it's safe and it's enjoyable, and you're floating up into the air, into the room that you're in. And imagine you can actually just continue floating up and pop out of the roof of your building. And you're floating above your house or wherever you are and looking down. And as you're floating, it's a very wonderful, weightless experience. Imagine that you can imagine what it feels like to be totally weightless. And you're just so fluid and floating and spacious, like a bubble. And so just imagine, really get a sensation of what it feels like to be weightless and light. And you continue to float up. And as you're going up, you can start to see your whole town. And as you continue to gently, safely float up, you can see more towns surrounding where you are. You can see your country. You can start to see the oceans and just enjoy. It's almost as if you are being pulled up, as if something is taking all of your weight and gently, gently pulling you up. And you're so light and free and spacious and floaty. Just really get a sense of that in your body. And as you continue to float up, you're going to pop out of the atmosphere of the earth and you're going to be looking down at this beautiful planet. And just take that sight in, this huge planet that we call home. All the swirling colors of blues and greens and browns and whites. And you're just in awe of how stunning this planet is. And you continue to float, and soon you start to see the other planets that surround us. And you start to see, as you get further and further away, the Earth gets smaller and smaller. And you start to see the solar system, the sun, and you start to look around and just look at this huge expanse of universe around you. And you're just floating gently, safely in this massive expanse of shining, sparkling stars. It's a really beautiful sight. And just notice how small the Earth is compared to this entire universe. And as you're floating, just gently rolling around, swimming around in this weightlessness, you're going to start moving back down to the earth and closer to the earth. And as you're gently coming home, the earth's getting bigger and bigger. And you're just going to gently pop back through the atmosphere as you're floating down very, very safely. And imagine you can see whatever country you're in, you can see it from high above. And you start to get floating gently down. You start to see your town, your village, or wherever you are. And as you get closer, you see your building. And down you come through the roof into the room that you're in. And just imagine that you gently come back into your body. Take a deep, slow breath. Just listen to the silence. And just allow yourself to sit for a moment without needing to do anything, without needing to achieve anything. And really listen to the silence around you and the stillness. Experience what it feels like to be still. And see how your body relaxes and calms down as you've just totally slowed down the pace of your mind, the pace of your breathing, the pace of your body. And just take a few more deep breaths. And then just pay attention to your arms, your legs, your toes. Give them a little gentle wiggle. And gently open your eyes.
I guess it's bedtime, everybody.
Good night, folks.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next Wednesday. Same channels, back to our original time.
Bye.
Bye.